Excuse the wind if the mic is picking it up. It's a very windy day. It's actually so windy that there's like a tornado warning or something. We gonna pray prayers up. Yeah. Welcome. Hello world. I'm your host Kiya, an artist, poet, all around creative. And this is Be My Witness, a podcast where we witness ourselves, we witness each other, we witness others experience this journey we call life. And in today's episode, I will be responding to some questions and comments and concepts that you all left for me to respond to. I thank you for trusting me with your ideas. We get very spiritual and I really enjoyed this. I would love to do it again. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get into it. Oh, it's still recording. So first, our first question is how to advance as a business owner. This is a great question. And my first instinct is to advise you. Now, I'm not a business advisor. Disclaimer, I'm not a business advisor, but I do be thinking. And I think to advance as a business owner, you kind of have to study other businesses or other business models, because business is something that has been around for years and there's a lot of information out there for businesses. So depending on what type of business you're looking to advance, I would research in that field. And also, as a young person with the business, you really have to trust yourself and work through the imposter syndrome that it is of having ownership of something. Because I feel like, at least our generation, at least my perception, I feel like our perception of our age and what we can and can't do is a little warped. And I hate to say it, I hope it don't sound ridiculous, but I think the adults in our early life, and this is not just parents, just adults in general, didn't give us enough agency to really build that trust within ourselves. So now we're doing bigger things and taking on bigger concepts, and we feel like we shouldn't be doing it, or we feel like imposters because we still are very attached to that younger part of ourselves that didn't have the agency. But now we're at an age where we do have the agency, and it's kind of like, you sure? I think for you specifically, to the person that asked this question, I think that you have like a very unique point of view of the world and how you see things and how it's reflected in your art and creation is really unique. And we need you to keep like being yourself, but also I feel like you can, when you really tap into it, you can really add something to the art world and the world that we live in and the world of business that is different. Because even when you go and study other business models or you take advice from successful businesses, you want to create that as your foundation, but you also want to have your own flavor and your own point of view in what you're selling. Because especially nowadays, people aren't really buying from the brand itself. Well, they are, but in a way that's like that's entangled with the person behind the brand. And people really love stories, and people really love to connect personally to where they choose to spend their money. Yes, how to advance as a business owner when it comes to making money. That is a research topic that you will have to devote some time to. And you also have to trust yourself and trust that you are capable of having a successful business, and anything you want is yours. Alrighty. Our next question is, navigating the dating scene as a hopeless romantic in 2026. Now, I do have thoughts on this. Hopeless romantics tend to be, como se dice in here, very mental forward people. And they think about a lot of things, a plethora of things. And usually, being a hopeless romantic, there's some form of media, whether that's film, TV, or music, or books, that literature, if you will, that has kind of curated your hopeless romantic spirit. So, you big brained it. So, for a person like you that's big brained, you want another level. You want another level. So, you gotta know that. You gotta know that that's true. And you have to have intentions. You have to date with intention. And you have to know what it is you're looking for. Because if you go out there and you don't know what you're looking for, you're gonna just start attracting anything. The universe needs something to respond to. The universe needs an order put in, if you will. They need you to let them know, hey, I'm looking for a boom, boom, boom. And then they're like, all right, we got boom, boom, boom. Right to you. But if you don't know, they're going to give you boom, bop, bam, bing, bang, bop, 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 skleet. And we don't want bop, bop, skleet. We want boom, boom, boom. I think that's what I said. But yes, you want to date with intention, because once you give a specific, it gives the whole purpose of dating a direction. It gives you something to look for. Also, when you start to seek something specific, it starts to seek you. So when you tap in, it taps back into you. But also, you may not know what you want. And that is not negative. That is an indication, an invitation, if you will, to reflect, to look in you and find the parts of yourself that you like, and find the parts of yourself that you can deepen and experience more of. So then once you do partner, you aren't dependent on them to give you anything beyond themselves, meaning the shared connection between you being yourself and them being their selves. And then y'all are just, just together. And it's not a codependent exchange or something that just doesn't feel reflective of you. And so when you're seeking and you're looking to partner, but you don't really know what it is that you want, that is your invitation to look within. And once you look within and you create that foundation, then you're able to find your reflection and know that it's truly for you. I also think that you have to have an open mind, because I think whether we like it or not, or whether we want it to happen or not, we are very much influenced by social media and media in general on what a partner should look like, what they should do, what job they should have, what type of clothes they should wear, and all those things. But if you're really looking to partner, well, you said dating, but if you're really looking to partner, I don't even know what I was saying. Hold up. I lost my train of thought. But when it comes to dating, maybe your intention is to meet new people and just have fun, be young, be flirty, be cute, get your bills paid, have a load of fun. Even in that, it's important to take inventory on how it is that they make you feel, and not so much what they do, what they look like, what job they have, and how much money they can spend on you, whatever. But something that really just speaks to your spirit, that speaks to your soul. And just remain yourself, and if they don't like it, fuck them. So yeah, that's some advice I would give to dating in 2026. Our next talking point is being independent, too independent to the point where you don't let others help. Okay. See, we see each other. I also experience this because I'm the type of person that just when I want to get it done, I want to get it done. I literally love to do things by myself for that exact reason, because I don't really want too many spirits in my space. Like, I really do enjoy my own space and doing my own thing, being on my own time. So I relate to being independent. And oftentimes I do think I can do everything myself. But here's real world example of where I probably should have asked for help. So I wanted to put up some curtains, and don't laugh at me. But I thought, okay, I don't really want to drill holes in the wall. I ain't even got no drill. So let me get the heavy duty command strips. I'm going to command hook the hooks on the wall. And then the bar is only like, what, 2 pounds? It should be fine. It say it can hold up to 20. Big mistake. I put the bar up there because the bar may be 2 pounds, or I don't know, or the bar may be light, but them curtains wasn't. So I put them curtains up there, and the middle hook, it came off the wall. And actually, you know what, I'm not gonna finish that story because we trying to get that security deposit back. So I turned the light on. I think I like it. I don't really know. But with being independent, there does come a time where we have to ask for help because we simply just can't do everything ourselves. And or we can't experience everything by ourselves. I do find that once I either release any pent up emotions, or I just let someone know that I need help with this thing, the help is there. And it's like, oh, this whole time I could have just asked for help, and it would just be so much easier. I think my independence kind of stems from that, meaning being that I don't really ask for help because, one, what if they say no? Or it's just easier for me mentally to not expose and to not be vulnerable and to let someone know that I'm struggling. To this, I would say that the first step is going to be to get to the root of why. Why am not even why am I independent? Because I don't think it's bad to be independent. I think being independent is a good trait to have, and I think that I love independent people, especially in a team setting, because I know that you can take care of what you got to take care of, and I don't have to worry about holding your stuff and mine. But with it being to the point that you don't ask for help, you have to get to the root of why that is, and then sit with it, embrace it, let it be true. And then release it. Tell it that it no longer has power over you. When it comes back up, do the same thing. And let yourself know that it's okay to ask for help if you genuinely cannot. You cannot. And if your emotions or your life experience or anything is just becoming too much for you, just know that there are people in your life that are willing to hear you out. Just know that there is someone there willing to love you and hold you through that moment, and that with asking for help or showing up vulnerable, you will not be rejected, you will not be laughed at, you will not be judged. There will be love on the other side. There will be someone there to help you, and it's okay to ask for help, and it's also okay to be independent. It's up to you to know which way is appropriate. And so you got this. It's a lifelong journey, but just know that you got this. Next, we got trying to alchemize your traumas to reap your benefits. Okay, so my interpretation of this question or comment is that you are given lemons, but you are going to make lemonade, or you aim to make lemonade. I think with this, first you have to have the belief that that is possible. And you have to know that it's going to take action from your own hands, and it doesn't just happen because time passes without you doing anything to do that. So this makes me think of the concept of Venus upgrade or a Venusian upgrade, where you, for the sake of just getting the concept out there, you're heartbroken, but instead of letting that break you or make you feel bad about yourself and become depressed or whatever, you let it upgrade you. You let it make you a better person. And really, the first step is believing that that is true, because it's all a state of mind. You have the choice of response, and it's always available to you. The choice of response, it's always available to you. And with things that cause trauma and pain, what we've been taught, our first mind is to either make ourselves feel bad about it or avoid it altogether and never really see the other side of its purpose. And so with alchemizing a trauma, you have to reframe what it is and its purpose, but also know that the trauma won't be the only ingredient to making a benefit, and that it's going to take other elements of you, whether that's your time or your energy or your trust in yourself, your trust in the universe, to shift the negative into a positive. I think in today's world, we're really focused on healing and alchemizing and all of those things. And I feel like as Black people, as Black women, we experience a lot of messed up things. And I think that when you do choose to not let something like that break you, and even have the concept or the thought of trying to reframe this into something that is actually positive for me, then you're also healing the women that came before you and the women that stand beside you. That's a really beautiful thing to want to put into the universe. And I think that when you are alchemizing your trauma, it's also important to reflect on why it is traumatic, because that's going to help you grow. It's going to help you know a bit more about yourself. And when we heal ourselves, we heal others that stand beside us, and we also heal the past and the future too. We set the future up to be on a higher vibration than where we were. And for me, real life alchemizing a trauma into a benefit would be experiencing a lot of family grief, and then reframing that to being that when I come across other people with the same experience, I'm able to connect with them and shed light on that, and do it from a place that isn't avoidant, from a place that is still connected spiritually and with heart. With the experience itself, really reframing it in my mind to mean something else than what it is. This passing, this loss has shown me how precious life really is, and how from now on I must live with intention. I must live freely. I must live with no shame. I must live. It's not the most flashy concept to reach, but it's honest, it's true, and it's not me staying in that place, but it's also not me not acknowledging it either. It's really like finding the middle ground with it, and being able to allow the lesson to embrace you and you embrace it, and then you carry it on from your life forward. I hope that made sense. I think that for me, that might take a bit more life experience to really have the words to express, but I do think I understand it as a concept, and I think that's a beautiful thing to shed a light on. So thank you so much for that comment. And last but not least, we have learning how to start over. So for me, starting over and letting go kind of are like two sides of the same coin. when it comes to starting over, I think it's important to recognize that you're probably not going to forget your old life, and you're probably not going to forget the old you. And you don't have to. You don't have, just because you're starting over, you don't have to forget where you came from. You don't have to not acknowledge that you may be sad to leave where you're coming from. I think that it's important to still embrace all aspects of you, and that doesn't mean that you have to forget where you come from. With starting over, with letting go, it's you releasing yourself from the past. And when it comes to letting go, it's you releasing yourself from the issue or the emotions that come up when you think about the issue, from controlling you, from controlling your actions, from controlling your mood, and taking back your own power. And with that, because we don't really get to choose our actions, like I said before, we do get to choose our response. And so how you respond to those thoughts, and how you wait, did I say we don't get to choose our actions? If I did, I meant we don't get to choose our emotions. We don't get to choose our thoughts. When we do have thoughts that we do not want to have, I think that it can be good practice to put your thoughts in their place and talk to your thoughts and say, you have no business here. You have no control over me. I don't believe that. Or that's not true. And just redirect them or shut them down. And it may not get rid of them completely. And I don't know if this is just me, but I always think about the past, but I just choose not to let myself I choose not to let my present self make actions through those thoughts. I simply acknowledge them as thoughts and just let them pass, because there's so much to be grateful for, and there's so much to be happy about in the present, that there's simply no need um to let the past control you, to let the past haunt you. And also, you're starting over, you're letting go for a reason. Like, this is a time to embrace the new. And also, new is scary, and that I think is normal. I don't know. I'm still learning how all this shit work. And when with new things, I think it's normal to be scared and be unsure at first. And I kind of equate it to a caterpillar into a butterfly, and how in between that process, the caterpillar is quite literally mush until it's a butterfly. And even when it comes out a butterfly, it still has to go through a process of letting go of its past self, because it comes out all slimy and wet and it can't fly yet. So it has to ground, sort of, kind of. It has to allow itself to release the past, and then it is free to fly. So yeah, we still must embrace every part of it, honestly, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the part that feels really weird and slimy and gross, and you're like, why am I still thinking about this? And just don't judge yourself. Just allow the thoughts, or just don't let the thoughts have power over your actions, and simply acknowledge them as thoughts, and know that you're moving on for a reason, and that you are capable of embracing change, you are capable of letting go, and you're capable of starting over, and you are capable of creating, and you are capable of bringing life into a space, and you are capable of being yourself. You are capable of letting go. You are capable of starting over. And when you do have those moments, because it can get intense, the slimy parts, but you really have to affirm that you can do it, and that it's all going to work out. Because when has it not? You're still here. You're still able to listen. You're still able to be you. You're still able to choose your responses. You're still able to live your life. And even though that's really simple, because the world wants us to aspire to something so great, those are really where life's most beautiful aspects and lessons exist in the simple, in the basic, in the breath, the simplicity that is breathing, but also the complexity underneath that. I hope that that made sense. And I hope that through all of these questions, you all were able to take some type of inspiration or a little nugget of truth and of wisdom and of light that can carry you through the navigation your of your question. And thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. And if you could leave a like, a comment, a share, or subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. And until next time, peace.